Now then, you beautiful people, thank you for joining us once again. I've got a couple of jobbing about jobs to show you this week, but before we get into it, I just want to mention about next week, the 25th, the 26th and the 27th, I will be at the installer show at the NEC in Birmingham. On the 25th, the Tuesday, I will be floating around the TradeHelp and BuyTrade stand. So head over to the stand. There is going to be a giveaway frenzy. Everybody's going to get something. And also, there is a test of strength. We can see who the most macho, male or female, is at Installer Show. There is a hammer machine. The winner of the hammer machine is going to get a Worcester Bosch boiler, and the runner-up is going to get a set of Honeywell home controls. So it's one definitely not to be missed. So do head over to the TradeHelp and BuyTrade stand. If you do see me and you want to have a chat, you want to talk, whatever, just don't be afraid. I don't bite. Come say hello. I'll be happy to talk to everybody about anything. So head over, and I hope to see some of you guys there. Let us know in the comments below if you are making your way over to the installer show. Right, just been called out to a con club that I come drinking. To be fair, it's one thing about doing work in somewhere you go drinking, you get roped into doing all sorts. So at the weekend, someone smashed a lot of holes in the wall, one down there, but that's not the only reason I'm here. The main reason is toilet's passing. So we've got this couple of screws off here, that slides out, concealed system, more than likely going to be the flush valve, but could be the fill valve. We'll see. So we'll open that up, see what's inside. Right, so with that off, you can see it's overflowing down the overflow. Got a working fill valve there that's not shutting off. So we'll swap that for a new Thomas Dudley one. I've got an isolation valve down here. There we go, that shuts that up. So, off there, I got swapped. I think I've got a side entry one in the van, so I'll head to the van. Hopefully I've got a Thomas Dudley one in there. So after a quick shoot to the screw fix, just managed to get myself a Dudley Hydroflow air gap compact float valve side entry. As you know, I've been fitting Dudley for quite some time now. RAS approved, 3-year warranty, made in the UK. I like to support anything that's made in the UK. I've done the Dudley tour before, and it's great to see a British brand still manufacturing here in the UK. So, get this swapped out. Should be straightforward, all being well. That off there. That one off there. Always keep the back nut, because you never know when you might need one. Down there, fat flush toilet. Make it easier for when we're dropping the float in. There we go. 2 nuts. So what we'll do is try to do this one-handed. One on that side. If I can get it on. Put that in like so, and then the other one on, and that, my friend, is why you keep the back nut. Anyone think I did that on purpose? Right, gonna get that fixed on. Get my other hand because I'm working one-handed here. In place now. Someone asked me last time I fit one of these and said I didn't fit the rubber washer. On the side entry ones from Thomas Dudley, it doesn't come with a washer because your water should never get that high. If it is getting that high, come out that side too, and it'll be going down your overflow. So by the time it's gone down your overflow, it won't have got to that high. So you don't really need a washer, rubber washer. So yeah, that's why I didn't fit one last time, because I didn't have one. I don't have one on this one either. So I'll put that on there. Give it a little nip up. That's a bit crazy, it's only a rubber washer. And then a screwdriver. Turn that back on. So let that fill up. We may have to adjust the flow. I'll show you that in a second if we do need to. But that took me all of 10 minutes, bar having to go to the Plumber's Merchants screw fix. If I had one in the van, it only took 10 minutes, and that is an easy 60 quid plus materials, so that's 80 quid at least there for doing that. That's how much I would charge. How much would you charge for something like that? Right, so I've had to make a couple of adjustments on this. The little cage at the bottom, the basket, all you gotta do is pinch them little levers on either side, and you've got these little notches which you can get it onto there, and then your float valve will start filling up. I had to twist this up and down just to get it to the right level, but it's just underneath the overflow now, so let that fill up and get it tested out. So with that now stopped, you can see 5 mil or so below the overflow. No more passing toilet, because I always double check that because sometimes I've done it and I've swapped the fill valve, filled it back up, put the system back on. It's not too bad on here, but if you're putting a close couple one on, spin it around, really get a new tripod, putting the close couple system back on, and the flush valve, sorry, it passes as well. It's a bit of a nightmare, so you've got to take it all back off again. But we're okay, it's not passing. So with that flush, job's a good one. Make sure that fills up, test it a couple more times. While waiting for it to test out, and go speak to landlady and discuss whether to pay me in pound notes or whether to pay me in beer. So yeah, what would you do? Would you take a couple of free pints for that? So I got a call from a customer saying the Yorkshire Water had said they've got a leak possibly, or the toilet's passing. Lo and behold, it is the toilet passing, and it's a common fault on properties. So this one is a flush valve. It's a Chinese cheap, just comes with a bog in the box sort of toilet, but it just happens it's pretty much identical to a Fluid Master. So that means I can use the valve mate from Thomas Dudley. This is a converter to go from Fluid Master to Thomas Dudley flush valves. It just saves messing around carrying different types of flush valves on the van. I can just stock Thomas Dudley and it can fit the majority of all toilets, and they will be making different converters in the future for different siphons or flush valves, whatever you want to call them. Mind my camera skills here because they're not very good. I'm not showing you anything there. So the cradle just clicks into place as you would do a flush valve, and then we take the new flush valve off, and the second part of the adapter just clicks onto place. We remove the washer. Once the washer's off, the adapter clicks on. Make sure you get a click so you know it's all the way on, and then you put your washer back onto the new adapter. So you're all ready to fit that into your system now. So with that in, you just pop it in and twist like you would do a normal flush valve, and it should shut off the water. However, on this job, for some reason, it didn't shut off. So I had to do a bit of messing around and trying to work out what exactly was going on, because it just wasn't shutting off at all. Turns out, user error, didn't put the valve mate cradle in correctly, but now I've took it back out, put it back in correctly, put the flush valve in, shuts the water off. Just typical, because I'm filming, it didn't do it. It's always the case. The great thing about these valve mates is, and these sort of flush valves, is I don't have to damage the boxing in. I can just swap it straight over. So yeah, just mix and match there. Viva and Thomas Dudley. I have repaired this toilet before when I used to fit Viva a long time ago. But yeah, moved over to Thomas Dudley now. Just wider range of products and, in my opinion, a better quality as well. So we get the flush button changed over as well. They just pop off and pop back on. Similar. Easy as. One thing I do want to say about about flush valves, and it's a bit of a bugbear of mine, is when people put the chrome shroud on top of the cistern, it just looks a pig's ear. And again, excuse my camera skills here because I'm not really showing you anything at all there. It's all off camera. So that just clicks back on and get it all tested out, get it flushed, making sure everything is shutting off as it is and we're no longer passing water, and hopefully going to save the customer some money on their water bills. On this job, we got called out to a pair of tower rad valves that are no longer turning and had also leaked in the past. So the customer wants them swapping over, but while we're here, we're going to fix this tap where the hot side was no longer opening up anymore, so they couldn't run any hot water. So with a 17mm ratchet spanner socket set, I got the tap taken out. Obviously, we turned the water off already, so we'll get that out. If it was just dripping, I could have just changed the washer, but because it's not opening it up, I'm going to change the whole cartridge itself. So over to the magic cartridge box. You can get these off Amazon if you are interested. This one is a RC5 cartridge. You got to make sure the length of the cartridge is the same, the spindle length's the same, all the threads are the same, and most importantly, making sure the head matches up with the new cartridge, because not all cartridges match the same heads. So you can get a little gauge, which I do need, so if anyone wants to send me one, please send it my way. So we'll get the new cartridge in place, just doing it exactly in reverse order, tying it all up. We'll always as well do the hot and cold. You buy them as a pair, so you may as well, and 9 times out of 10 when you do one, in a couple of months time you'll be back to do the other, because yeah, they don't last forever. So with the new one in now, we'll get the water turned back on. It is a gravity fed system, so it's going to take a while for the cylinder and the header tank to fill up and pressurise. So while we're waiting for that, what we're going to do is swap the valves on the tower rail. So first of all, same thing, gravity fed system. I'm going to jump in the loft and bung the tanks up. I got these bungs from Plumber's Tools. Basically, well, how I do it is I turn the water off. One bung goes in the outlet of the tank and the other goes in the vent of the tank. This, what it's going to do is make a vacuum. If you've been in the game many years, you'll know this, but for apprentices or new starters, this is making a vacuum of the system, so you're not having to drain down the full system to work on it. What you got to hope that the vacuum doesn't fail and you end up midway through, once you've cut into your pipe or removed your valve, the vacuum fails and starts flooding into the bathroom. So fingers crossed it doesn't fail. What you got to bear in mind is you're going to have to be ready with your bucket and towel, because you're going to get a little bit of water coming out of the radiator. You got to remember you've got a full towel rail there, or radiator, whatever you're working on, that's got water full in it. It's just like, it's going to want to go somewhere. So just be prepared, don't panic, and have all the tools ready to go. The more you panic, the more water you're going to spill, the more mistakes you're going to make. So just be prepared, and it comes with time and practice. The calmness, should we say. When I first started out, I used to panic and make mistakes, but you're just learning over time not to panic and take your time, because you're going to make less mistakes. So I've told you a million times before how I make my tails up, so I'll tell you one more time, just in case you didn't know already. I do it with Loctite 55 and a bit of jet lube, just for belts and braces, to be honest. I want to make it in with my new Wearer radiator key, which is goes onto a 1/2-inch socket set. Bit of a space saving tip for you. This way I don't need to have a radiator key and a socket set in my tool bag. So yeah, I've got a small tool bag, Velocity Row 2.0. So yeah, bit of a space saving tip for you. So with the left hand side one all done now, we'll move over to the right hand side one and repeat the process basically. We had to swap the bit of chrome pipe in between the compression elbow and the valve. My boo-boo, I got the new valves were a lot smaller than the existing valve. Not the end of the world, luckily I had some in the van. So with that all done, now we can put some inhibitor into the system. I'm not going to do what I did last time, I bunged the tank and pour it straight into the tank, because I got some right grief off some of you YouTube trolls. So I poured it straight into the tower rail this time. So yeah, I had my fair share of YouTube trolls and Instagram trolls and TikTok trolls. So with that all done, back in and tighten, we can jump in the loft and remove the bungs from the header tank. So in the loft, question for you, which one do you remove first? Do you remove the vent first and then the feed tank out of the tank? Or do you move the feed and then the vent? I learned from last time I did this to remove the feed first and then the vent, less likely to create an airlock in the system. So with it all filling back up now, we'll vent the radiator, making sure this radiator is full, making sure all the other radiators are full as well and not disturbed any of the others as well. And then once we're happy that everything's full, everything's ready to go, we can get the heating turned back on and test the radiator out, making sure we've not created any airlocks to this radiator or any other radiators in the house. With it being a gravity fed system, they can be an absolute pain sometimes for airlocks, so just be sure you've done it right. And obviously the tank is now full on the hot water side, so it's flowing nicely and shutting off a lot easier than it was before. So yeah, I've got another happy customer. This one off Checker Trade. I've just joined Checker Trade to try and get some more jobbing about jobs done. So yeah, I'll have a tidy up and another happy customer.